What's going on YouTube? This is Chaos-Reighn here, and in this video I'm here to bring back the build. The build that I always play, the build that everyone always knows me for, IceShot. So in this build we are of course taking advantage of crystallized omniscience as much as we can, and we are trying to push the damage as well as the utility and survivability of it as much as we can to the best of our power. So the first thing I want to mention is that unfortunately I did already make a video and I accidentally pressed the button and that kind of ruined the recording. So this is just going to be a quick little showcase of the build in a 5-way encounter just so you guys can see what it looks like in its glory, so on and so forth. I do hope you guys enjoy the 5-way run, and if you do have any questions about the build, I will address them when I can. After the 5-way, I will go over all the gear slots and my choices for everything. I do hope you guys, again, enjoy it. So, that being said, I have pretty much been missing IceShot for a while now, and as such, I have decided to, rebuild it. And not only did I decide to rebuild it, I'm going to start claiming some of my MTXs from my other builds for it. So let's see. For this is our single target. For our clear, we want to use Valorb, Defiance. We're going to go, see, this. They're going to go, see, this. And we're going to go Nightfall Aura Effect, this. Herald of Ice, this. Hatred, this. And dash second wind. We don't have anything for these, so that's fine. Now for our gear, what do we have? We have the Ancient Dread stuff. However, we just got the Ancient Dread bow, so we want to put that on. And I don't think I have anything else for this, so we're just going to leave it like that. And for our weapon effect, we want it to kind of match, so we're going to go with the Metamorph weapon effect. And we don't have any of the belt stuff or anything like that. We didn't get any of it, so it's whatever. Alright, let's see what our character looks like. Yeah, we shoot red IceShot. Alright, so first, you know what, I'll go over gear right now. First, we have our bow. Our bow is our Thicket bow, pure Fizz Thicket bow, and this is a fractured T1 Fizz. Unfortunately, it was upped recently, and they didn't up the max fracture, which is kind of, lame, but it is what it is. Still one of the highest bows currently on console. In it, we are using our clear, awakened GMP, anomalous inspiration, awakened ally damage with attacks, awakened chain, awakened added cold, and anomalous IceShot for increased AoE. Then we are using a Legacy, Hero's Ire, not Legacy in the fact that it's 250 damage, but it's Legacy in the fact that it has Onslaught when hit. Because we are spell suppression capped, we will be hit, and we won't take as much damage, but we will always have Onslaught pretty much. This also makes it so on bosses, for example, if we want to stand still for a second, we can just stand still and get an insane amount of attack cast movement speed, just bursting them down as fast as possible. In our links, we are using Anomalous Inspiration, Added Cold, Awakened, IceShot, 2123, Barrage Support, Hypothermia, and Awakened Elemental Damage with attacks. We're using Hypothermia mainly because it's a more multiplier, and we don't want to use Cold Pin necessarily because we already have 200 LE Pin. For our helmet, we are using Black Sun Crest. It isn't even Divine close to perfect. This thing is still like, what, 3 plus 4, 7 points off. Eventually we will get enough Divines and Divine 1 up. We have a couple of these sitting aside. In our helm, we are using Anomalous Mark on hit for reduced mana cost of the marks. This allows us to actually spam the marks and not worry about it. Of course, the marks don't get removed, but whenever you're attacking a lot, you're going to start casting it a lot. Then we have the Sniper's Mark, we have Defiant Spanner, we have Divergent Grace, which is just, whatever. And then we are using a fractured T1 int ring with T1 dex that we rolled on it. We end up hitting the prefixes and end up hitting the flat cold flat lightning and T2 mana. And the mana, we were like, you know what, that helps. It helps us get level 21 precision reserve, so why not? The Chaos Res unfortunately only rolled T4, which is whatever. Our belt is a Headhunter using the 668 Headhunter This is basically something we got from a friend of ours who helped us out, and you know, it's a pretty insane headhunter, so we are appreciative of that. And let's see, this one is a synth strength ring with basically triple stats. Unfortunately, the dex and doesn't work. Anything that says and only applies the one of on the attributes, so it's not 70. For example, that first mod right there isn't 70 of omniscience, it's only 35. As such, we are in process of rolling a second ring, and when that gets done, we're going to be stoked. And as far as our prefix go, we do have T1 ES and the Veiled Life with mana regen. This helps our mana kind of sustain through our attacks, which is pretty good. Of course, we have the channeling -7 to go with it. Our boots are synthesized dex boots, or should I say omniscience boots, with basically we essence rolled it until we hit something good, which was T2 spell suppression and T3 dex, which is absolutely perfect for the build. This is all we need. It's basically like adding damage and huge defensive layers to the build, so we decided to keep it there. And we end up veiled chaos rolling, but we're pretty much broke on currency, so we just kind of kept it where it was. Crafted cannot be frozen and called it a day. In our boots, we are using Second Wind, Dash, and Blood Rage. Blood Rage is the one for frenzy charges, so especially when you're on a boss, this will help you generate frenzies. We are using synthesized omniscience gloves with, this is what it looks like. So we actually hit it with lightning essence, and it hit T2 cold, an open prefix, and basically everything else just came like that with T4 dex, T2 spell suppression, and T2 cold. And we ran really, really low on essences, so we were like, you know what? We've been essence farming a lot. We're going to essence farm some more. We're just going to leave this like this until we get more essences. Call that a day. Our omniscience is the one we corrupted in our last video, which is the attack speed with increased omniscience effect. So this is interesting. This actually calculates, I believe, as 11, or well, in this case, 13% omniscience. And the attack speed is insane. Now, I did a price comp on PC and quoted like 100x, I believe, on PC prices, but all the ones that I noticed, none of them were perfect rolled, and none of the implicits were as close to or as high as mine were at that time. I don't know if there's any that have come up since that are, you know, higher roll with better price values, but again, I'm still going to value this at least like at a mirror on console, maybe a mirror and a half. I'm probably not going to sell it, honestly, so it doesn't even matter what I value it at. Then we have a pretty insane quiver. This quiver is a basically a kind of omniscience quiver. We hit T1 flat fizz. We actually hit armor evasion, which is pretty good for us. It gives us a little bit of extra survivability. The accuracy is insane. We hit T1 attack speed, and initially we had crafted the attack and cast speed for a little bit more, but we crafted the dex because we swapped out a few jewels. So that being said, you know, it's pretty solid. Now let's go over our tree. Our tree is relatively simple for our IceShot. We always path around like this so we can use split personalities. However, in this specific case, we're probably going to repath our tree just so we can, just so we don't have to worry about the split personalities and can save us some points. As of now, this is our tree. We are taking these points here. We actually have the Watcher's Eye here. This Watcher's Eye is a base crit plus spell suppression Watcher's Eye. I need to divine it, but it's what I have right now. I don't have any divines. We are taking all the nodes up here for crit chance crit multi. We are going up this way, and we have our first inspired learning with power charges, frenzy charge. Then we have death perception. We have blood drinker. We're pathing down here for one cluster. Our one cluster is hatred reserve and banner reserve. We are taking a replica conqueror's efficiency. We only need one node like this because of our Watcher's Eye plus our armor, and of course the boots and gloves all have suppression, basically making it so we are suppression capped very, very easily with basically a budget. We're taking the multi nodes here, the accuracy attack speed nodes here, the life node here, and the fervor here for our second inspired learning. We are taking the full bow wheel, and our node is increases and reductions to projectile speed applied to damage with bows as well. And then we are taking the more projectile speed node here, just so we can have more projectile speed. And of course the crit multi and crit chance. And it wouldn't be omniscience build without getting some extra big dex nodes along with 5% attributes. Then we take the health node here. We take the point blank here. We have this cluster, which is drive destruction, feed the fury, martial prowess. If you look here, this is attack speed, attack damage, and increased accuracy, which is good. Then we have attack speed while leeching, which we're always leeching, increased damage while leeching, and of course damage leeches life. And then here we have damage leeches life, damage while on full life, and chance to maim, which will slow the enemies even further. Our two mediums here are Eye to Eye Repeater for even more attack speed, and then we have triple multi-jewels at the end. Both of them are pretty much the same, just different divined. Basically exact same rolls, though. We have, well, these don't have tiers, but we have life, multi with elemental, multi with cold, global multi, and it's the same thing here. Both of them with movement speed implicit. So I did notice this before I forgot to actually do something, so I'm just going to lose a little bit of life and go bam, increase effect on my marks, because why not? And basically that's our tree, that's our character, and let's go ahead and get into a 5-way so you guys can see how this character performs. So one thing I want to say about this build is that it's like IceShot has always been, ooh, that's interesting, that's a lot of omniscience. That's funny, it's what I think about now is omniscience instead of anything else. It's also all 3 attributes too. Anyway, one of the things I will say is I miss this build, but like I play it every single league in and league out, so if I take a break from it, that's why. I do fully intend to rebuild it because it's my favorite build, and you're about to see why. I'm hoping I don't get lag dead, because I mean it has happened. It's, you know, PoE and it is console. Can kind of expect it at this point. I forgot to go over our flasks. Our flasks are relatively simple. They all have use when reach full. We have a legacy movement speed flask, but it's not super cracked out. It's just gain flash charges on crit and 22 movement speed, nothing like super crazy. Then we have a bunch of other legacy flasks that, you know, just because we're in standard, we might as well. So we have like the Dying Sun here with a 21 effect, or AoV I mean. We have Legacy of Bottled Faith with a 1.92 and 9. This is not Legacy, but yeah, we gain 7 flash charges when hit, basically making it so we will always have this up pretty much. This is our source of Chaos Res to get as close to 0 as possible. And then our movement speed flask, and our, you know, our life flask, instant life flask. We didn't need Corrupted Blood because we have Corrupted Blood immunity already, so we decided just to get this one, which just gives us a chunk of evasion for no reason, essentially. So if we pop it, I can't pop it, I'm at full life, but if we pop it, we go up to a really high amount of evasion. So see if I don't lag die. So first we like to do like a little lap, get started. Oh, yep, we get lagged. Oh, hi. Okay. 1, 2. Oh, okay, well, that answers that question. And yeah, this is our build.
My mana is gone.
Can I have that? Thank you. I like those buffs. And as you see, we aren't having any issues in a 5-way. Uh-huh. Cool story, bro. Yeah, no one cares. See if we can't get a bunch of buffs, come back in the middle. Get some quick kill. I'm actually not going to worry about her right now.
Only the sun can bring about the dawn, but we... Traitor! The Emperor's...
Uh-huh.
Rejoice! The Queen has been...
I'm not up to that just yet.
Since my arrows tasted slate.
And as you see, we don't have... Oh, hi. Hi.
Fight Chaos. See it, your death.
Dead end, rebel turncoat. Time to...
Time has come, Mayakara, to push the numbers.
I'm missing one. Where are you? Oh, whatever.
Children of darkness, we will paint the earth with your... Only the sun can bring about sorrow.
You cannot destroy that which is eternal.
The hyenas do not howl. A good winds take you.
Rejoice! Repent!
Yeah, whenever he turns invulnerable, you just walk away. There's no point in wasting time.
We are your...
Repent!
Oh, he did it again, huh? Okay.
Traitors!
It's been too long since my arrows...
Sinners!
Time is back to the dust. I am sorry, Shin.
My mana is gone.
And as you see, we're just basically melting everything.
The hyenas do not howl. A good omen.
Thus is IceShot with Inspireds, you know.
Do not
And of
weep.
course, the fact that we have 200 pin is a huge, huge, huge help.
Locust.
Die.
Sinners! All of you!
Can you die, please?
Your skin will make a fine quiver, slaver.
Your rebellion ends here! Traitors!
I'm not up to that just yet.
See if we can get another reset in.
The hyenas do not howl. A good omen. Share. I will avenge you. Rejoice. The queen has deemed you worthy of sacrifice. The hyenas do not howl. A good omen.
So we got another rotation in. And let's see. Can I kill this guy?
Rejoice! Impure!
Nope. Alright. And that is the 5-way. Swing. Glorious Vanity. Elegant Hubris. Chaos Orbs. Chisels. Sacrifices. Yep. That's about what you can expect. Gonna grab a couple things here and there. I don't really care too much about these unless they're the relentless emblems, so. And scarabs, I like scarabs. Cobalt jewelry, any good? No. Sure, I'll take the sacrifices. And yeah, that is the 5-way. But as you see, we weren't having any issue, but if you didn't know, they get a little bit more health every time you do reset. So we reset a fair amount of times for a solo run. Unfortunately, this isn't a self-curse headhunter build or anything like that, so you know we can't just sit there and uber delete them and maintain buffs for the whole entire fight, but we can still do a fair amount of damage and still delete them upon, you know, as many resets as we did, and we were really, as you saw, we weren't having any issue and there was hardly any downtime. I didn't even die, thankfully. But yeah, that's the build. I do appreciate you guys joining me today for this video, and if you guys want to see any videos in the future on, you know, my IceShot or anything like that, you're more than welcome to request it. I will say that this is probably my favorite iteration of Omniscience so far. I did try it out initially with my first IceShot setup, but it was just kind of a wonky setup with Omniscience on the character and a couple of pieces of gear, and that wasn't really a full-on, test of it. So just so you guys can kind of see what it's like to do a normal juiced map, I guess you can call it. Not even normal juice, but just a map with a little bit of umph on it, I guess. We're gonna go ahead and put a map with Beyond and Nemesis on. I didn't even expect to get the Beyond or the Nemesis. I was just gonna put Beyond on it, but let's go ahead and just run it real quick, and you can see exactly what your mapping is gonna feel like and look like, and how smooth it's going to be. Obviously speaking, this is not a budget setup. This is probably a lot cheaper on PC than it is on console, and more than likely you'll end up having to mirror the bow that you're looking to get, because I can count on one hand the amount of people who actively try and make +2 arrow bows multiple times a league and so on and so forth. So yeah, but let's go ahead and see what we can do. How about that? See if we can't find some rares first. Oh, looks like we found one. Oh, uh-oh. Lag. It's not cool. Alright. Go ahead and open up the essence. Get some free buffs.
Just yet. My mana is gone.
Alright. Now let's go see if we have any good harvests.
This way, exile. Kill it, exile. Quickly.
Reroll all, huh? I'm gonna have to delete a more likely for that. I don't feel like looking through my stash right now to see what I have to roll with it, so we're just gonna do this. Boom. Sure. What do we got? Split a scarab. We don't care about that, right? So, just gonna go onwards, see what we have here. Additional crafting outcome. Alright, cool. Oh, wait, we have one more. What is this? Sacrifice a map. Alright, cool. That's it. And as you see, this is what you can expect. Just getting, cracked out and whatnot. Obviously, this isn't a super cracked out juiced map. If you had like Delirium, you had like the pack size full to the brim on this map, you would literally just get super jacked out, kill everything, blow everything up, and then, leave the map with a whole bunch of loot. That's a horrible roll. And it would be way, way, way more, beneficial to you in the long run. So, anyway, I do hope you guys enjoy the IceShot video. As you guys know, this is your IceShot main here, Chaos-Reighn. if you guys do enjoy my iShot videos and want to see more of them, I will be glad to, perfect it again and, make sure I have the right flasks on and make sure everything's all good to go. But, as always, everybody, take it easy. Have a good one. Stay cool.